Have your way in the midst of this? Say it today, Abba Yahweh. Let us stand to our feet, nation. Blow the trumpet in the mouth of Yahweh and Yahshua HaMashiach. Hallelujah. The Hashemayim. Kadosh is your Hashem.
Your name
Your Malkuth to come.
set apart.
Your will be done.
No other will.
In earth, Abba Yahweh. And in the Hashemayim.
Help me.
Give us this day our daily lesson. And forgive us our debt, Abba Yahweh. And we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil, Abba Yahweh. For yours is the Malkuth, the power, and the honor, Abba Yahweh. Forever, Abba Yahweh. So be it, Abba Yahweh. May it be fulfilled in the precious mighty name of Yahshua HaMashiach. As you feed us the lesson, the bread of life, from your life this day to your nation of understanding, Abba Yahweh. The hukmah, Abba Yahweh, of your Torah. The truth, Abba Yahweh, that we accept our lives, Abba Yahweh, to be soothed, turn, come back to you in the precious and mighty name of Yahshua HaMashiach, I pray. Hallelujah, hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah. For we had entered into the bed of Yahweh with Torah, with praise upon our lips, with the testimony of Yahshua HaMashiach and our land. And we may offer a praise and a Torah, an offering unto Yahweh our Abba, with gladness of love, YisraYah'ale. So let us sing, let us dance. Let us lift our voice, make a joyful noise unto Yahweh. Come on, YisraYah'ale.
Let everything that Shabbat is the season of celebration. For all things. We greet you, our friends, our listeners. Those that oppose me, I welcome you as well. We appreciate your attentiveness. We gathered here in Yahshua's mighty name.
Hallelujah.
Nor the name we come in, nor the name we dispense this truth, but in that name. It's important for us to understand and to know. We are a generation. Are you? Don't hear me? Can you hear me? We are a generation without knowledge of matters. And we tend to boast in a cesspool of ignorance. We think we know, we literally do not know. We will define our understanding of matters by our own ignorance. We cannot equivalate, we cannot speak on matters in the smallest of details and depths. Can you hear me? All right. So I want to teach today. I ask YisraYah'ale. Let me teach today. And I know what I have been teaching on the Shabbat, but I wanted to on this. It's all in the same line. 1619, 2019. We're in 2019, and the condition of those that identify as Hebrew Israelites, it is of such corruptness that they have corrupted themselves. I blame nobody. I'm all right. I will go into the devil's den and bust his head. That's fact. When the storm Thursday, so this woman said, can I check you out? No, she said to me, there is a checkout. I said, I don't check myself out, ma'am, dear. She said, well, I will do it for you. Thank you kindly, ma'am. Appreciate that. And so she goes into this dissertation because she addressed us in a way that, you guys, ma'am, please, I'll let no one get by with that. I said, we don't look grotesque, do we? Oh, no. And so she goes into her Christendom, a religious walk. And so when I began to talk, I was not trying to overpower her. She became so nervous, you could hear the shaking in her voice, as she even told me that, you know, that how pagan Christmas and all of that, and she will celebrate it. That's a fact. And so I was as gentle as they can be with one. She did not realize her ignorance and how stupid she sounded. You just met someone that you didn't realize that I think he has a little more understanding of those matters with substance more than you. And so when I realized how nervous she was, not that I was talking loud, I was talking in a very subdued voice. So I had to heal the lady. I had to. All right now, your kindness has been appreciated. Thank you so much for checking us out, because you're not going to take a receipt that I have checked out with. You're going to scan my items. You're not going to do that. So I don't do it. Even when I go early in the morning to Walmart, I left yesterday, the other day, left at 5. They have no one at checkout at that time. From 12 midnight, or I believe 1, until about 7 in the morning, you have to check yourself out. They got all the information they need on you. They got your face, they got the resonance of your face. That's all they need. I will not allow them. And there are times I go through there without bagging. Because I'm not going to tolerate those intrusions of these dogs. I'm going to continue on what I began on YHWH. And there's a reason why. Because after YHWH fellowship, this little child walks up to me and she says, "Wait up, Papi. I really enjoyed that. That is a blessing." Now, dogs don't even say that. So with a child, well, you don't know her. Well, I know you well enough that you have deceived yourself to make you think that you are pristine and so upright, and you're full of your own lies, your own corruption. And don't make me dig in on you, okay? I want to teach as a moray, a man of wisdom and understanding with the knowledge of God's truth. And above all, you that are in your homes, I want you to be attentive. I want you to attend to what I say. You that are sitting here, I will watch others that we hear. You always got something to do, but I want you to hear me. I don't need you doing nothing else. There was a man that sat here, never. The one that sat there. I shouldn't have to say that. Just listen, all right? You will be richly blessed. Vitally important that you listen. He that hath ear, let him shilach, let him hear what Haruach says. And that's important. This is God's time. You don't come in here to organize or reorganize. Just come then. Open your heart to hear. I don't care if you don't like me now. I'm real. And I love you enough to tell you when you're wrong. How about that? It makes no difference. Let us not get into our emotions. I'm talking to us all right? But I'm talking to you too. I'm talking to us all, but I'm talking to you. You understand? Hallelujah. I want to begin this teaching concerning the crown of jewels. A trust that extends beyond man's ability to comprehend. We don't know what safely trusting is. A child that rely upon the warmth and the breast of their ima, they know at certain sounds that there shall be a comfort and a comforting, soothing formula that Yah put in the bosom of a woman to produce the life-giving substance. And that's what the Torah is. It brings life. Because our confidence to rise beyond the spectrum of many others that we safely trust. We do safely trust in Yah. It's vitally important to us that we understand the captivation of words. In my most ignorant days, I did not want to be eloquent in speech. I wanted to understand what I was saying. I didn't want to be smarter than anyone. I wanted to be abreast where I could comprehend. And the only way I could comprehend matters is that I understood the meaning of words. You must understand. And so the Torah is a volume trove of knowledge. You must understand the words to understand how that they are placed in Torah. And he put them there so that you would seek and search out the book. There are those that read the same thing all the time. They don't go beyond that. They don't know how to go into the book. They don't know how to study. And that's a fact.
Hallelujah.
And the reason they don't know how to study, they're not enthusiastic. You can read it. But that is not studying. That is not lahak. That is not understanding the ingredients of what's in the book.
True.
In any soup, there's more than just water. Us, today, what do we have? We got soup, we got tomatoes, we got okra, we got beans. I said, like that. So anything of substance, of use, the ingredients must be ample so that the nutritional value, you may retain that in the eating.
Yeah.
So you must have the same thing in the Torah of Yah. One of the most powerful, beautiful things that a melech can wear is his crown.
Yes.
With the crown,
Yes.
he is recognized by everyone.
Yes.
When there is some kind of royal diadem upon a man or uniform, like police officers,
Right.
they are recognized.
Yes.
I want us to understand this. And so he says to man, I will put you in a position that your heart can safely trust. There's nothing like a man's heart when he can safely trust.
Yeah.
Now, I know we as a nation, people, we really didn't have the kind of role models. But I thought this morning, I said when I was growing up in the 60s, the homes had fathers. Eric Harris, his father and mother. John Crump, father and mother. John Thompson, his mother was a nurse, she was dead. Andre McCarra, father and mother. Our next door neighbors, Mr. Brooks, a chef, Larry, Brendan, all they had a father. The Bon-Levins down the road, all those daughters, no son. There was a father in that house. My next door neighbor, Randy Stafford, that was a father. Across from there was Miss Cooley, that was a husband and wife. And I could go down the breadth of our streets. And there were fathers and there were mothers. Now the fathers were missing an important element because no one taught them. They didn't know how. They did not understand the depth of love and how to love a wife. They didn't. Nobody taught them. Nobody. Nobody taught them the essence of a man, but they did take upon the responsibility. When we lived in that government's project, there were fathers with their wives. That's in the early 70s. And so this generation of those that identify themselves as Hebrew Israelites, they don't take upon the responsibility of their slackness, how they have disregarded every woman that looks like his mother, her mother. They disregard them. And that's a fact. It's evil.
Yes.
It's sadistically evil. And it takes a weak boy to do that. They're not men. One of the most powerful things that God gave to us. Let me begin here, Mishuli. Proverbs. There are two aspects that I want to cover today. Proverbs, Mishli, chapter 31. And verse 11. He is talking about a daughter that is Chayila. She's a strong, beautiful daughter. She has the wealth of beauty. It's not in a Leslie Faye frock or her attire. It's in the beauty that how she does her mind. And everybody will see it. Everyone will see it. And they will know. These are the wise words of Shalom that he even defiled them. He says in Proverbs 31:11, he says concerning the Chayil woman, he talks about the man's lamb, his leba, the strength of his being, the hearts of a husband does safely betach It is his love, his kindness, that generate that kind of honor and regard for him, that she or he trusts in her, because she surrounds his thoughts. His heart is upon her. Yes. She loves him. She cares. And he does safely. He is assured. He has confidence, trust. He has great confidence that he trusts in her, so that he has no need of spoil. He doesn't need any kind of refreshing, any kind of other activities. He needs nothing. His heart safely trusts in her. He doesn't worry about the activities that she would try, or she will act at her own corruption. Yeah. Because his heart safely trusts. That's a statement. Yes. When a man knows by the rendering of honor from a virtuous woman, she's strong, her wealth, yes, her kindness, she is known. Yes. You don't have to compliment yourself. Hallelujah. You don't have to tell me what you are. Her kindness, her activities will speak for her greater than anything. There's nothing that speaks to that kind. We're talking about a virtuous woman, and there's results of that. That's why when I say things sometimes, I know, because many times you have not experienced that, and we hear. Yes. But I know what I'm saying. I'm a student of this collection of writings. Her husband's heart trusts in her, and he has no need of anything. He doesn't have a need of wealth and things and substance and things of that nature. He doesn't need that. Yes. His heart is secure. His heart delights because he trusts in her, and there's a safety net for him. Because all of her kindness and her love for him, it surrounds him. Hallelujah. He's encircled by that. He is encamped about. Yes. His mind circulate on her and her kindness and her great deeds. And that's what he does. Yeah. We're talking about a high yield. We're going to bring things out in great depth. We're going to make them known and understood that you that striving to be a virtuous daughter, you will understand and delight in it. Hallelujah. It's one thing that she does. When you say this to us, all you daughters, and look at each of you, it's one thing that a high yield woman does. She is known that she's virtuous. Yes. She is seen that she is strong. Yes. Can I prove it in Torah? Hallelujah. Let me go to the book. You got talk, but it's cheap. Hallelujah. You're full of gab, but it's no gift. Yes. I want you all to attentively listen. Yes. And I promise you I will tell you where it is when I finish. Hallelujah. This is what Boaz says to this woman of beauty and charm. He says this: as she fell on her face and she bowed herself to the ground in the presence of Boaz, in essence, she honored him with great delight to know that this man has considered me. And she said to him, please tell me why. Have I found favor in your eyes that you should take nacha? You should take knowledge of me. You will respect me. You will honor me. You will what is it? What have I done? You don't even know me. I'm not even a part of your people here. And yet you regard me. It is one thing about a virtuous daughter. The strength of her beauty. It shines upon the presence of her ish. And he is not like any other man. I don't care where he walks into. Yes. He's identified not because he's 6'5" or 5'4". It makes no difference at all, nation. It has nothing to do with it. Period. Look what he says. She says, that you should take knowledge of me. You know that I'm a gay, I'm a stranger. I'm not a part of this family here. I'm not a part of this brotherhood here. She said, I'm a stranger. I don't even know your customs here. He retorted. Then Boaz answered and said to her, I want you to understand the captivity of the words now. It has been fully shown me. When something is fully shown, then every aspect is opened up. Is that?
Yes.
Everything about you, everything I know, everything I see, I know you're beyond and above the measure of all of those that are virtuous and strong and beautiful daughters. And he had his choice of any. He was the Melech.
Yes.
But she was virtuous and strong and beautiful. He says, it has been fully, Yah has revealed and shown me, not just some of the things, but all, everything, all, everything you are, all that you have done to your mother-in-law. You've been kind to the woman that since the death of your husband. She was not a virgin. She was not a Beth Ula. She was a hard-year woman.
Yes.
And everyone took notice that she did not depart from a special mother-in-law that was kind and loving to her and taught her the precept and the concepts of a wife.
Yes.
Because she had been loyal to her man. You that have not been loyal, how can you teach someone that? You cannot. We can have pretense of verbiage. I listen to all of you. I listen to how you greet each other. That's sweet though. I like it. Welcome home, baby. I'm glad to hear you. See you, baby. I like that. I do. But it's beyond verbiage, nation.
Yes.
You understand?
Yes.
It's more than that kind of verbiage.
Yes.
Listen to what this man says. Listen to what he says. I've seen how you've dealt with your mother-in-law. Your mother-in-laws can't even get along with the daughter-in-laws and son-in-law. That's just a fact.
Yes.
There are those that love mom and dad and brother and sister more than they love husband, or let's deal with the aspect of that too. Look what he says. He says, I've seen what you've done to your mother-in-law since the death of your husband. This is the catalyst here. And how you have left. You have left behind. You have departed. You have removed yourself from a distance. You've left your avat, your father. You've left behind your mother. There are women that love mamas more than they love the husband. There are women that are more concerned wives about mothers than their own husbands.
Yes.
And cousins.
Yes.
He said, you did something that only a virtuous daughter can do. You left father, you left mother. That's what you have done.
Yes.
And also you left the land of your nativity, where you were born, where you know the land. And are come to a people which you knew not thereof. You didn't know anything about us. You didn't know anything about our habits, our ways. You left everything behind. That's the beauty. And it adds strength, that we'll understand this in this teaching. There's nothing like a daughter of Zion.
Yeah.
That if her husband sleeps in a brush arbor, she follows.
Yes.
If he's broke, she follows. And that's a fact. There's nothing that would constitute the strength of a man when the wife is short, when she does dance.
Yeah.
Nothing. He said you left everything, you left all of them for one purpose. You were faithful and loyal to your husband. Her father had taught her well.
Yes.
Because her father undoubtedly was kind to her mother. And her mother had displayed all the beauty of a daughter of a high woman of Zion.
Yes.
That brought a beauty to her husband. He was recognized beyond the gates of his city. We got to deal with all of that.
Hallelujah.
And that's why I'm a preacher and a teacher. To refine you, daughters, so you can operate in the maturation of a Chayil, a virtuous daughter of Zion. I can see my testimony wasn't worth a nickel, but even in that degree, I have a testimony. And to teach you and to show you, you may understand the beauty of a man's love. And the beauty of his kingdomship. You are part of that kingdom.
Yes.
You understand that? You understand folly. We have gone for the things that are short-sighted.
Yes.
That have no value at all. None. He said, you have left all. Even the land of your nativity, you have left it all. And then he gives her great, great blessings. He says, Yahweh repay you, or he recompense you. Shalom. On what? On your work. When your works are right, virtuous woman, I don't care what, there are people, listen to me, they're working in restaurants for nothing. And because they do a righteous job, they can go there every day and not murmur. They don't complain or things like that. And if you have done that, you understand what I am saying. They don't complain, they don't murmur. He said, may Yah repay you shalom. They give you comfort of your mind for your work. And a full reward be given you by Yah, the sovereign master of YisraYah'ale. You understand now what I read in Shalom? That the heart of a husband safely trusts, betach, that even your confidence of your great honor, not even understanding the volume of love, it surrounds him, it encapsulates him. He is taken under that beauty of love, not some sensual emotion. I'm talking about that which is intrinsic. It goes beyond the physicality, but yet it produces a beautiful physicality. I'm not going to negate that. It produces a physicality. He doesn't need nothing else. Nobody wants nobody else. As a fact, we haven't been taught that. I didn't have no man to teach me that. I didn't see anyone as I grew older with the longevity of marriage and with their wives and that live honorably and honorable. I didn't see that. I didn't see it.
Yes.
That day in 1963, what constituted that in my mind? When I fought Randy Stafford next door. He said, you don't even have a daddy. There was dozens in the 60s. I didn't. I was ashamed that I didn't even know a name. And when he did that, I fired up on him. I beat him up. You didn't do that in the 60s or 50s. I don't know about the 40s. And I recall going between those two pine trees and weeping. And I told the Most High, I didn't know Yah. But these were my words. God, as the tears flowed down my eyes because my mother had put the fire to me. And after that, I had to wash clothes in the Ringer washing machine. How about that? And I said these words to the Most High. I said, God, if you ever give me a wife and children, I will never let them suffer. I meant that thing. I meant that. I meant that with all of my heart. He gave me a wife. He gave me a virtuous wife. I'll show you how I know she's virtuous. Yo, You don't have disagreement. Don't be silly. Stop that. You don't have to fight because you have disagreements. That's stupid. That's stupid. He says here, under whose wing you have come to trust. You see, that's what the heart of the husband does. It safely trusts in the wings of the comforting of the wife. If she's virtuous. The men don't trust their wives. There is no trust. None whatsoever. They have no confidence in that. That's found in Ruth chapter 2. Read the whole chapter. Ruth 2. There are men that don't trust their wives. There are wives that don't trust their husbands. But daughters of Zion, I'm saying to you that it is the virtuous nature that calls. You have learned ways that are wrong. You have been marginalized. You have been raped. You have been abused. Yes, you have. You didn't even understand the beauty of that activity because it was doggish and dogmatic. Nobody respected you or regarded you. Nobody honored you at all, believe me. You were talked about. That was so cheap and cheesy as a young boy. That even back in those days, your misgivings and deeds, the men never talked about it. Only the little boys. That your name has spread like wildfire. And everyone is seeking you out. That's evil. Yes. It's not of young. And all those things have transpired. Ruth was a married woman. Her husband died. So you just got off to all of those sins and your corruption and then allow Yah through the teaching of Torah for your mind to be transformed. Those that identify as Hebrew Israelites say they have marginalized you down to nothing. You're not even the value of a nice canine in the house. They don't even consider you a dog. Yet they take advantage of the aspects of your humankind and your physicality to play upon the foulness and the lewdness of their corruption. And they take you in as a harem of Jezebels. Don't sell yourself for that. Yeah. Don't sell yourself for some kind of moment of some kind of, it's not even pleasurable to you. And you know it isn't. Because he doesn't understand what facilitates that. And without him understanding what facilitates that, he doesn't understand the beauty of what you are and your physicality and every aspect of you, from your hair down the tip of your toes. He doesn't understand that. He doesn't understand and every measure. Yet they can go to those places and put money on the table for some stranger they don't even know. That's evil. There is nothing more valuable than a virtuous woman. All the gems of the earth cannot pay for it. We have learned, the daughters have learned, the women have learned to be resentful and hateful. You got to get that mess out of you. It's going to kill you. It's going to defile you. They have learned those ills, and they have kept them in a reservoir in their minds and in their hearts. And they have learned to do evil. But you have never intended for you to do evil like that. You have not understood the captivity of love. How do you tell someone to love someone, but they don't know? Women, you don't know how to love. I love your daughters. That's why he gave you mothers and those that you can look at them and you can tell them when a man loves his wife now. You can say what you want to. You can tell when a woman loves a man too. You can tell when she has been a tremendous part. And she is. And they are your God. And they teach you how to honor first of all. You have to learn honor before you can learn love, daughters. You have to learn honor before you can learn love. He instinctively commands a man. He doesn't know how to love. He commands him. You know you're acting stupid, boy. Change yourself, do right. He knows you, daughter. He put the commands in the heart of the man. He did not give you that, but yet you must love him. And he must care for you like YHWH loved their son. You tell me these devils and dogs with 3 and 4 whores that they call wives, they know how to love them. They're devils and demons. They don't give a knicker's worth of rat's dung about no one. Taking Viagra and everything it is. Putting a woman through that kind of tyranny, suffering. There's nothing more bona fide with strength, maturation of strength than a daughter of Zion. When it comes to the activities of her husband, move beyond the pale, nothing like that. The man may die out, but she doesn't. And that's a fact. That's a fact. Hallelujah. I want you all to study that, daughters, this week. Just read the whole book of Ruth. And understand what the Torah says. Hallelujah. Do we understand? I want to give us 2 verses in Torah that we may be captivated with what trust is. That the heart of a husband, people tell you don't trust. I mean, I wouldn't trust my wife. Wow. You don't have a wife then. You have a partner, not even a partner, that maybe you sleep in one bedroom and she sleeps in another one. But that's not the prototype of Yah. Yah says he made a gift to man. He did not make some kind of slutty thing. And there are men that have gone beyond the boundaries of love. Okay. And care. From the day that I married my wife, I knew that that was not even an issue for me. Never. And I've lived with the greatest of honor. I'm not saying this to boast in me. I make no boast about me. I'm saying that when we have experience and longevity among us, and men that can speak with integrity of honesty, I don't hide anything from us that I can speak with, because their friendship to me meant more than the other externals, in the sense of, although they were important, sharing the substance that Yah granted unto her to share with me, and to make me understand the beauty of a man. That's what a wife does. She makes you understand your beauty and your strength. You can't be fussing, daughters. You can't be fighting. It is not your way. It is the way of Yah. Don't remove his confidence nor his strength from his head. Don't do that. Don't be a devil. You don't have to do that. It's best just to get quiet, and if you really love Yah, just sit down and have those quiet moments with Almighty Yah. That's a fact. I want to show you one of the encapsulations of trust in 2 Samuel, chapter 22:3. This is when Dawid, when he understood the greatness of Yah's great tenacity of power, he offered up this prayer of oblation, of praises, of Torah unto Yah. And look what he says here. 2 Samuel, chapter 22, verse 3. He says, the Almighty One of my rock, my strength, my Yeshua, in him will I trust. So the world tells you today, I trust nobody. I would be a fool. I don't want to be that, even that way, not to trust. I trust my wife. I trust YisraYah'ale. Now you mess up, that's you. Yeah. I trust his truth. Yes. He says, in him will I trust. Why? For he is my shield and the horn of my deliverance. He is my high tower, my refuge. Not only that, but he's my deliverer. You deliver me from violence. And he delivers you from the violence of you. From your Hamas. These activities in your mind that you will do wrong and you will carry forth those things. He delivers you from that. And so that's the power and the beauty of a virtuous wife. She delivers a man in her strength, in her beauty, her wealth. He doesn't have to go to another bank. He got everything in the bank he needs. He got love, he got kindness, he got tenderness. And listen, daughters, people will see that. We can pretend all we want to. And one of the most visible things that they can see that in, I will tell you in the next part. They will see that. They will know you can pretend. But that's not, you don't want to pretend. That's hypocrisy. Just say, I'm weak. I don't know. I don't have it. Then you learn. You met those I know you have on your employment that know what you're talking about and they really don't know. And then when you ask for an explanation, well, what I was saying there, well, you know, I was, they get nervous and they can't answer. Well, hold on for a minute. Let me look at that again. I got a text from Bill. Hold on, I'll get back with you. Just give me a moment. Because they don't know. They don't know. Do I know how to counsel someone in marriage? Well, I've been in the ball field long enough. I have an experience. I know. Her beauty will reflect my strength. And your strength will reflect the beauty of her strength. She is the one that brings the beauty to man's strength. I will prove it in Torah, all right? Is that all right? Hallelujah. So Yah delivers you from the violence of your own evil mind, from the corruption of you. You won't talk the way you talk. You won't belittle him. Now, I know that there are women that they belittle their husbands, talk down to them. You don't ever do that. He will endure that and tolerate that. You don't talk down to him. He's not a child. You married a man, didn't you? All right. Treat him like a man. You don't tell me what to do. Well, I need you to pick up that at this store. You get that at this store. Well, you're telling him. What's the difference? This is how petty and minuscule things come. I remember the years of first marriage. When you squeeze the toothpaste, you squeeze it in the middle. Now, I conform to that. And she still squeezes it in the middle or wherever. I would slide it all up and roll it out to get it withdrawn. Yes, ma'am. And that create infractions. That's so silly to me. Roll it up. You're all right. How about that? How about that? Just do it. These are minuscule things that have no value at all. They have no purpose or anything at all. Just squeeze the toothpaste from the bottom, daughter. Reassure his strength. Let him know that he's the man. That's what you have to do. You are what a wealth. That's what Ruth did with Boaz. He said, I thought I was a man. And I thought I knew the integrity of a virtuous wife. But she excels them all. She has something that the other ones don't have. And when you got something that is that genuine, daughter, you don't have to flaunt it. Everyone will know. Yeah. The reason you flaunt it because you don't have it. The reason you want attention because you don't have it. And when you have that, you don't have to flaunt it. Yeah. Everyone will know that you're that way. Everyone. How do I know? Because Boaz told me. That's how you know. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I want you to understand one thing in this concerning his heart safely trusting in him. You have the book of Sirach. I want you all to turn there. Sirach. You all that don't have the books, you all, I set off a magazine for Zakin Benjamin. He asked me, just order them, get one, okay? You have enough money to do that. I'm not going to buy them and give them out. But the book of Sirach, the book of Sirach, hallelujah. This is what it says, all right? This is the result. When a man safely trusts in his heart, trusts in his way, these are the results. Can I show you the results? Sirach 36. Sirach 36. Sirach 36 and verse 23. This is the power of any virtuous daughter of Zion that have suffered the great agonies of life. I could see my mother suffered. With Sirach chapter 36 and 22. It says this, if kindness, you have to be kind, daughters. If kindness, you're kind to everyone. Your husband, your children, your neighbor. If kindness and meekness, what is meekness? You don't always resist everything. It's without fight. It's without opposition. Just learn to hear that even though if I'm wrong, it'll help you. It will help you. You take that and you take, as the world will say, the positives out of that. There's not one of us beyond critiquing. Don't think you are. So first of all, you got to be kind. If kindness, then you must be meek. Then you must show the residue or the resilience of humility, that you're willing to submit. It makes no difference who it is. You are arrogant. You don't want to humble yourself before no one. And that's the reason you're that way, because you're insecure. You don't have any assurance in yourself. You don't. I don't care what you think and how you promote your own self, but that's just it. You don't. Yes. Why? Because let's read on. Is in her tongue. Is that now there? In her tongue? Yeah. In her lashon? Loshon? If that's in her tongue, then her husband. Then her husband is not like other men. He's different. Everybody sees it. I know I say things, but I say them to give us comprehension. I don't boast, honestly. I don't care where I go. Even with the wife that's crippled, I don't care where I go. And when I begin to talk, I don't care who I talk with, who. I don't care who I greet or who I interact with. And watch how people look at me. The UPS drivers, all the people that deliver in here, I almost have to give all of them a sermon every day. The one yesterday, he wanted to stand and talk. I had to give him a fist bump to get him out of there. I don't have time. Are you boasting? There's a reason why. Because wives, if you have that kind of beauty of that kindness and meekness, you think you're kind, but you're not kind. Because your man will show, if you have a husband, he will represent the power of the strength of that kindness, because his heart trusts in. He knows that he's surrounded by kindness. When he wants to get nutty, then there's kindness there. That it is a beauty, yeah. And there's a crown about that man. Yeah. So you can't say you're kind and all that, but that's not so. You're kind, you're man, everyone will know. Sure. Back in the days in the 60s, women would know that, but she takes care of that man. Don't tell me they didn't talk like that. How old are you? You be what? So you're older than all of us. You never heard that in your lifetime. Because they knew, didn't they? They could look at that man, they could see how polished and how he looked, and they knew that wife. When he would come, he had this extreme, not fallen. He was sharp, his clothing and everything. You knew the man, yes, you could. She's old as what? How old are you? You ever heard that saying? You ever heard that kind of saying that she takes care of her man? I know you. How old are you? How old are you? 77. Don't get shit. Open your mouth so I can hear you.
Yeah.
Get that long, you live that long, you have to tell everybody. All right?
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
And everybody knew, the community knew. And women, because of that, they will not even do anything. That's the way it was in the day.
Yes, hallelujah.
They will not even try, because they knew that Miss Betty took care of him. That's that woman's husband. And they honored Miss Betty so that they honored their husband. Don't tell me that. I'm not that young. And they honored that. And that's a fact. So there is nothing, if she's got humility and meekness in her tongue. Her husband, it says that, doesn't it?
Yeah.
He is like none. Her husband is not like other men. He doesn't walk like them. He doesn't act like them. He doesn't talk. He's not like any other man. He has the same physicality. That's why a virtuous woman, she's a jewel. When a man seeks Yah with all of his heart, he will give him a wife like that. She may have to come all the way from the other side of America. You'll know that.
Yeah.
You can't seek Yah just to satisfy any kind of emotion with the wife or husband. And if she's a virtuous woman, Yah will grant her to a man that loves him. So you can't expect to get a husband doing the same kinds of things you were doing that you knew was wrong. Well, I've been waiting so long. Well, you waited so long so far, then wait. That's what you do. You waited so long so far, and you still don't have one. If you've broken every law of Yah, then just wait. Just wait. Just wait. You may be that tall. He's that tall. He's a man.
Hallelujah.
You may be like that. He's a man. He's like that. He's a man. And will love you and caress you and be kind to you. You'll at least be loved. Yet you've sold yourself out for something that doesn't even satisfy you. There is no pleasure. Not one bit at all. That's the fact. Her husband is like no other man. And then he says to us in verse 24, he who acquires, the man ascertain, or he has been shown favor by Yah, a wife, he gets the best possession. I was looking at this verse here. I'm going to break everything down. I was looking at the word acquires, and then a wife, and then his best possession. She is a helper. And then she's fit, F-I-T. She's fit for him.
Yes.
She's fit. She's fit in every way. Her beauty,
Yes.
her charisma. She's fit for him. And then I can preach on all these. What is a pillar? She's that. What is support? She's that. What is a helper? What is fit? What is the best possession? She is his best possession.
Yeah.
There is nothing more valuable than a virtuous wife. You can find women of every degree that they're not even virtuous. That women don't even like being married. They don't like the application or the interacting with marriage. They don't even like that. There is no excitement or fulfillment. They don't even like it. It has no kind of motivation of experience. That's just a fact.
Yes.
There are men of the same way. It has no... Yah gives you an application that above all things, that is meant to unite you all in a love that is so great.
Yeah.
And we have learned things like that from just filth.
Yes.
We have not learned that by the application of Torah and you all talking and entertaining and the activities that Yah established. And it's established to solidify love.
Yeah.
Okay? It brings about a comfort of safety because you rest. You rest. No doubt about that. You rest. That's what it does. It's not something that is not supposed to bring that connection with Yah. That's why he gives, and when a man finds a wife, there's no possession like that. His mama's not his possession. His daddy, the wife. She's the greatest possession. There's no possession like a wife. Nothing. I don't care if he got $1 billion in the bank. She's his greatest possession. There's nothing more rich in charm and care than a wife. Trust. You don't have to lie. I know people think, well, yeah, I know he's lying. I've never lied to my wife. I've never had to. Day one, I trusted her. Of this ignorance, my love made me trust her. And we never spend time apart from each other. We never. No, she didn't go to work with me. But everything outside of that, we did it together. She ran the basketball down for me. And that, whether we ran 8, 10, 12 miles, we did that. Whether we got on the tennis court and I taught her how to play tennis, whether we played tennis or anything, we did everything together. I have never hung out with any man until I met my friend in the back. I was telling his son the other day, I said, I will tell you a story how that I met your father. He was your age. And that's never dishonored him as a man. Never. I don't mess with young cats like that. Yeah, I use the word cats. I didn't do that, but I loved him. Never dishonored him. Never robbed him for a nickel. He knows that better than anybody. It's a beautiful thing to have friends. She brings a beauty to a man like no one else. And then, daughters, you can also bring a stench too, okay? Don't forget that. Nothing like a rotten wife, now, I'm telling you that. So you that are listening, don't allow yourself to be swayed by these twisted, and I will say damnable lies by these that identify as Hebrew Israelites. They will rape you and they will rape your daughter. They will vilify you and your daughter. They will call their own mother a dog out of the gates of hell. And if they would do that, they will call you that. You're no value to them. It is only a sensation for them. Has nothing to do. Yah gave each component, he gave one to a wife and one to a husband. That collectively, in unison and joined together, that it brings about a euphoric that is beyond descriptive, superlative. And that's a fact. That's a fact. It's beyond that. It is. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. She's a pillar of support. Whatever he does, you support him. I know that his mind may be at the zenith of maturity. If he tells you he wants to, if we can do it, support him. Grab his hand and say, you can. I know you can. You gonna do what? You can't do that. Get out of here. That's wrong. That's evil. I've never been told that I can't do it. I've been told you can't do it. To be precise, there's nothing you can't do. I like God. He's not like any other man. When he goes out in the markets, Yah's will, I may teach that dimension on Wednesday. Goes out in the market, he doesn't look like other men. I don't look like other men. I don't act like them. I don't act like other men. I don't look like them. I don't respond like them. And that's a fact. I don't care who I meet, on it. I was in the store other day, 2 weeks ago. Let me tell you this, and I'm going to teach. And this woman, the cashier, you can tell when a woman is full of low esteem, and she thinks that she is admired by every man, and she's not. And I'm watching this woman. I'm in the line with her, chatting it up with this little fella. And so when I push my card up, it's courteous for the cashier to say hi, or how are you doing? She didn't even respond. I said, how are you, ma'am? She didn't respond to that. She didn't even look at me. She did not say thank you when I left. She did not say we appreciate your business. All those women there in restaurant, that place before, because that's all there. And there was one, I said to her, ma'am, that's wrong. I don't even want this stuff. But I told you all the story. I had to go back and buy it, didn't I? And that woman from that moment has always treated me kind. If I tell her what the price is, she doesn't call someone to check on the price. She says, okay, sir. Always. Always. Because I tell them what I'm buying. And why? Because of my family, my sons, and my daughters, and my grandbabies. So this woman didn't even look. I gave her the money. She just, you didn't treat. I could understand that she's wrestling with her own identity in life. When she did all, I said, ma'am, thank you so kindly. You think she said, thank you, sir? She did open her mouth. I wasn't offended. I'm just saying that there are things that she was quite happy with the fellow in front of me, because he was clowning and shut bucket. I don't clown with no man's wife or any female at all. I don't play. I don't laugh with any of them. And that's where I've been. That's where I've been, because that has been my safety net. Hallelujah. Listen to this, and let's go back quickly to Proverbs 12. Now, if I'm teaching something that is delusional, tell me. Proverbs chapter 12, 1 verse, I want to read, and I want to deal with this for a moment. You saw just read in Sirach 36:24 that Sirach 36:23 that a husband is not like other men. I want to qualify that in a degree here in Missouri, Proverbs chapter 12 verse 4. I'm going to read on to the semicolon, or the colon there. I want to deal with that aspect, not the latter of the colon. It says, a YHWH, a virtuous woman, she is an atara, she is a crown. It says that, doesn't it? Yeah. She is a kita. She represents the royal diadem of a man. She is a crown. So what am I? If someone walks in the store, whether they are a king or a prince with a crown, everybody's going to look at that and say, what is all that? Yes. That's what he represents. That's what she represents. Yes. She is a crown. Yeah. She is a kita. She is an atara. She shows the significance of his royalty. Yes. His grandeur. That's what it is. And you daughters have been sold out for nothing. And I know how they intrigue you. I know how these stupid boys, they're mature, they don't know how to rightly divide Torah. They dog you, they press you, they rape you, they take all your money. She is a crown. She is an atara. She elevates him with the royal status. That's what it says. Because if we identify the crown in Torah, you will see that it represents the volume of one's excellence. She is the excellence of that man. Why? Because he's loved her right. He has cared for her. He has taken care, not some physicality of need, but he has soothed her, taken care of her mentality as well. That's what it said. A virtuous wife is a crown to her husband. She represents all the wealth and all the beauty of those that are royal. not going to deal with the latter part of that because many times there's rottenness and they are rotten and the rottenness is there. I won't deal with that. I'm trying to esteem you daughters of Zion.
Hallelujah.
I will deal with that later on with this kind of coverage so you don't have to be rotten. You don't have to act rotten. You don't have to be nasty. You love your man, you want to be his crown. So when you walk into a place and say, who is that? Well, he's a king. He's wearing a crown. The wife is a crown. She's a crown. A virtuous wife, that doesn't mean a virgin. Wife that has the wealth of the kindness of God. You cannot be a virtuous woman without being kind. You must be kind, daughters. Has to be. You must show humility. You must humble yourself. And in your tongue, you have to know what you're saying. That's a fact. You can speak hallelujah all you want to means nothing to Yah. She's a crown. She's a crown. That's why a man is not like no other man. He walks in a place, he knows he's a king. Because he has a crown on his head. She exemplifies his beauty. Why? Because he has trust her. She will never lack him. She will never do him wrong. She will never betray him for no one, nobody, and nothing. I will never betray this woman. That's me. For nobody. Nobody. Not even me. I will not. You're talking, well, just watch me die, then you'll see. She's a crown. There's nothing like a Kita. Nothing like it. Only those that were royal wore crowns. Even on the mitre of the Kohan, he's a priest. He's a priest. He's a priest. He's a priest. They are the Kohen of Yah. He's a Kohen. And on that mitre, above that mitre, there was a crown. The Haggadah. There was a crown there. There was a golden crown put on the mitre. There was a crown that was put on that. So she represents the authority of his Torah, the Torah of Yah in YHWH. And she crowns that mitre his head because of the knowledge that Yah has put in him and poured into his mind. The crown. She's not some kind of bed rider. These dogs are doing that. I can find someone better. Go to hell. Tell me that. There are women that say that. I can find somebody better. Stop it.
Hallelujah.
You just become better, daughter.
Yes.
You find some kindness in your loins. Be kind to everyone. You have opportunity to be kind to everyone, especially YisraYah'ale. Humble yourself before the mighty hand of Yah. You hear the hand of Yah speaking. And I don't apologize to no one. I don't give infringe upon you. I love you, Ema. You. It makes no difference. I don't care. I intend to infringe upon you. If a wife, if she represents the beauty of a man that he's like nobody else, there's a deeper depth to this. I'll work on it. I'll show you. Her husband is like no other man. A virtuous wife, her husband is not like other men. That's it. His beauty, his strength is not like other men. That's just a fact. Yah just doesn't grant a virtuous wife unto every man. You got to show enough. You got to show enough in this day. Set your affection on him, the things that are above, and not the things that are sensual. That's right. There's nothing more beautiful than a virtuous wife. She's a crown, man, a kita. She's a crown to a man. So when he goes out, he wears his crown. I don't care if I got on dirty clothes or clean clothes. I got my crown on. It's no different with me. I back down to no one. I don't. I know you know that one. Look at this. A virtuous woman is a crown. She is an etera. It is her beauty, her charm, her love, her honor that surrounds the man. That's what an etera is. It encompasses him. And even during his great plight, he will sense that beauty of that great honor and love. When nobody appreciates him, it surrounds him, it encompasses him, and it gives him the gravity to rise above any kind of circumstance. I don't care if it's educational level, he can rise above anything. And that's a fact. There were men that had no education in their wives, but yet they showed them that great magnitude of love. And the man, through great battles and trials, he raised up from those sufferings in the 30s and the 40s and the 50s and the 60s. And there were people that looked like me, had wealth, they had money, and they had substance, and they owned much. And our children don't own nothing today. Those folks had something. They did. Land by the thousands, millions of acres. You own nothing. Yes. I don't care what you own. Land is more important than having cars. Yes. Billy Jordan said to me, he said, preacher, you don't make no more of that now. They make a house. That they don't make. You just can't buy that. They don't make no more of that. That's how he said it. I had never thought about it like this. You're right about that. You can't. They can make a house, they can build a house. Make your car, you can do whatever you get. When it comes to land, they own nothing. They own nothing. And those that left them a fortress of wealth, most of them never. Look up this street here. They own nothing. And they left all of their names on it so somebody will have something. That house that he's in, and now we own. Man said, I wouldn't even buy that unless you would use it for a parking lot. So we can use it for an orgy. He said, okay. But you have to go through to get the people. So there is no real title on that in all your life. You get a title of ownership, but there's no title. That's anywhere. What did they own? Yet it was that old mother. She saw the agony of Roy. He would come home from the cotton field all day long. And he wanted to do better and right, but he couldn't. She never raised hell with him. Didn't have much. She had it ready for him. Those shack didn't have, I lived in a shack. You look Clorox and mop them floors and they'll be white. No polishing, no floors. The place we was near last place, Mr. Jack Dagger, there was no carpet on the floor. No insulation in the walls. And she would sit there quietly because she was humble. She was meek. Today, daughters, you can't be raising hell and boiling your action and huffing your stinking breath like you're some kind of monster. That mother would sit there with him and watch him eat. And if it was nothing but enough for him, she'd feed him. The youngest that roamed through the house raising hell were quiet. Give him time to meditate and think. He didn't know how to say, I appreciate you. He didn't know. Nobody had taught him that. He didn't know. His quietness spoke to her. Even when he would get mad, well, baby, but then it was that crown that would temper him. He didn't know how to say, baby, I appreciate you. Nobody taught him. These young boys don't know what love is. The young men don't know what love is. The older ones don't know. Those that are beyond my age had some idea, but they still don't know what love is. The young women today don't know what love is. They don't understand what love, the magnitude and the beauty of it. And how do they don't understand that? So how do they teach their daughters? How do they show their sons the beauty of a beautiful wife? And tell them, I want you to have a wife like me. And they'll grow up and say, I want a wife like my mama. Not my mama, but I want a wife like her. The young daughters, I want a husband like my daddy. You know, all of those young ones that lived here, there's one thing they will always say to me. I want to get married to a husband like you. I want to be just like you. They will all say that. All of them say that. I want my husband to be like you. They were young. They were young like that. But they saw and they could see, I want a husband like you. And I said, well, you say you get one like me. Because all of them like me. That's what I would always say. They don't even have husbands. They got babies out of wedlock. Nobody's going back with them. Nobody. Can I say this nation, son, I'm a student. And I was looking at numbers from different information sites concerning the number of men of my youth compared to the woman. It's not like what these last dogs that tell you that they are not enough men. They are damnable liars. It's almost the same parity. You may find in places a few more women or more women that look like them than men, but then there are places whereby you got more men than you got women, and everybody running the same women. And the women know their value because they said, hey, that man, you ain't going nowhere, country boy. You're going to live down in here. And that's a fact. And so for them to marginalize, the daughters will be taught the virtuousness of Almighty Yah. And it began with you daughters, listen, it began with all of you kindness. Put something together for Ima Rafin, you daughters, you all get to discussing it. It's got to begin with kindness. You got to have a meekness. You can't always fight. You can't always act your back. That's silly. You got to have meekness without fight. You got to understand critiquing. It's wonderful. Just like with his brother. How can a man that getting married going to tell someone my age, marriage, all these years, how to treat a wife? I would say to a young man, at least wait 5 years and then you kind of, you kind of teach somebody something there. But how will you counsel me that all these years, you're going to tell me what marriage is? You've been married 4 or 5 years, you're going to tell me? You can't do that. You're going to tell this husband and wife over 50 years, you're going to tell them how to balance their lives and their circumstances? Get out of here, you stupid boy. You're stupid. You're a stupid kid. And that's a fact. There's nothing, listen, there's nothing that has the value of riches like a virtuous woman. Yeah. Nothing. She puts a crown on your heads, man. But daughters, you got to learn how to be humble. You got to learn what kindness is. And you got to know what's in that lying thing in your mouth. That's what it's called. Lo shona. It should guard the law. L-A-W-S-H-O-N-E. Lo shona. Lo shona. Yah has a law. And so we must not allow your tongue to shun or disband the law. You don't know it, oh silly woman, oh silly boy. You don't even know the love, woman. You've been taught love from a cesspool of trash and lies. You laying down with someone that's not love. They knew you were a whore, and you knew he was a whoremonger, so you all cohabitated together. Get out of here. Thank love. And Yah cleans you up. Oh, that's in the past. Don't worry about that. I don't care what you've done. And the day he washed you up, what about what you did in the past? Let nobody intimidate you with that, because if you're a virtuous daughter, it won't, you'll shout and be glad that Yah delivered you from that cesspool of darkness, sin and all your corruption. You will be glad. You still got some of that trash in you. You're going to go right back to those foolish ways, and you're going to seek the same road.
Yeah.
You bring jewel to your man's crown, your husbands. Keep putting the jewels in there. Rubies, not diamonds. Rubies and pearls. That's what she is. The latter part, I'll hold off on that. Let's to understand what a crown is, what you represent, daughter, and how Yah placed you in Torah, so you can understand your importance and not be one that is full of lies and corruption. Let's go to Revelation quickly. Revelation 12:1. Revelation 12:1. This is the crown, her husband, or the head of his husband, her husband. He represents the nation of the kingdom of Yah. He made the man first. And then from man he brought forth one that was equal from, that he would know how to appreciate the daughters of Zion. But this is what Yochanan says here in Revelation 12:1. You understand nothing about a crown until you can quantify and qualify the aspects of a crown. I would be a fool to get up here and just talk about a crown or atara or tita, but not qualifying it with, to show you how valuable you are, virtuous woman. Yes. To show you abstain yourself and keep yourself, and you go and you learn how to be humble and to present kindness and make sure there's a law in your tongue, daughter, and you humble yourself. Yes. And people, sometimes you daughters, you got personalities, you don't know how to humble yourself. It's not a beauty. It's not beautiful. You may think it is, but it's stupid. Yeah. It's not a beautiful thing. Look what he says in Revelation. And there appeared a great wonders in the heavens. He talks about a woman, doesn't he? A bride. He talks about a bride, this woman. She would clothe, her beauty was so precious, she was clothed with the sun. That's what you represent. You're clothed with the sun. S-O-N-O, right? That's your wear. Because your husband man is your covering. That's what he is. Clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet. And upon her head there was a Stephanua. There was a crown. There was a mark that she was royal. There was a royal crown. And you know the strength of your royal crown, daughters. It is your virtuousness. It is a virtuous woman. She takes that crown of her virtuous nature, just like a Ruth with Boaz. Everybody knew that she was a beautiful woman. When you're beautiful, everyone will know it. When you're beautiful, everyone will know it. When you're kind, everyone will know it. When your man is like no other man, women will say, daughters will say, Yah, bless me with a man of that magnitude. Just bless me with a man like that, a husband. That's what they would say. That's why he gave the man a wife, that she could show forth the greatness of honor. And in that honor, he would love her like Yahshua loved the assembly. He saw this woman with a crown on her head. In essence, she was a prize. And that's what a wife is. She's a prize. She's a prize to a man. Yes. She is his trophy. And he wants everyone to know that this is, you're sad if you don't. Yeah. I won't ever, this is my wife here. You know this song. I'm here, come on. Yeah. Walk with me. And others see that and they know. Yes. They see there's something beautiful there. Sure. I know what I'm saying. I'll never forget one year I went down to Walmart to pick up some things for the people that lived in that house that we're trying to get. We're going to get it. And I was dirty because she came and told me that story. It was lacking quite a bit, even personal things. I know exactly what we spent that day. We spent $320. Well, why you didn't spend it? Oh, don't be selfish. You got more than you need. Yeah. And as we were going to show, because I had been working all that day, I was dirty, as they come. She was fixed all dolly-like, beautiful. And I never forget walking in that Walmart. You know what color shoes the woman had on? She had some blue Nike. You can tell they weren't cheap shoes. And when she spotted us, she just looked. She looks at me. These shoes is dirty. That's what she said. She looks at her. She is so pristine, so polished. And yet when she got closer, she spoke. Now, she didn't speak because of me. She spoke because what she saw, she admired. It was something that you don't see. And that's just the truth. I don't hold hands with her just to hold hands. Get out of here. She's the beauty of my strength.
Yeah.
She's the beauty of my strength. She is my crown.
Yes.
Her wisdom, her love, her care. Can I ask us all a question? None of the parents, you that are listening, you've never fussed at your children or fussed at your sister or fussed at those that are same your age. You don't do it just to do it. You do it because you care for them. You do it because you care for them. She got a daughter that has more children than she has. And don't tell us a mother, even at her age, she will not say things to her that their daughter may not like. And that's any of you mothers. I don't care who you are. And that's just a fact. That's a fact. And she will never guide her into any situation with that which is going to help her. And that's a fact. Who do you think you is that you'll be up any kind of critique? And that's stupid. The brothers love critique me. Their kindness to me critique me. And I fuss all the time. When I say I fuss, I don't fuss. I just talk loud. Yesterday he came back. Yo, stop, stop. And back here working on this deck land. I'll never do that again. Cheaper about concrete. And I figure I just scratch myself. Oh, we got $200 already in this. Going to take another 100. We got more than that with that gravel. And he gets off and starts walking. He said, I didn't know you were over there. I said, Matt, get the wood out. You all get the wood. I got this. But I said, no. I got this. The wood was more important to homes than that. Don't get that wood until you finish up. Go on, man. No, I got it. So it's that care that critiques me. Will I do him wrong? I don't have no money. You're $78. I borrowed it from him. I'll pay him his money back. Hallelujah. But there is nothing like a crown of 12 stars. She is the bearer of the very nation, or the nation of YisraYah'ale. The 12 stars represent the 12 tribes, and the daughters of Zion represents the light of those stars with the crown upon their husband's head. There's a crown. She's the crown of YisraYah'ale. She brings forth the man-child. That's why I don't care who it is, you should love every child of YisraYah'ale. You love them all the same. Me too. And that's a fact. I thump his head, she's like I thump his head. I fuss at her, like I get on her. I get on that one, she'll cry, they'll cry. That's all right. It's my love. I straighten them out. But yet they know it's love. Even in all of that, they know it's love. They know it's love. He brought me a gift this morning, and I'm like, boy. I said to my email, it's one thing I want. That's a carrot cake, and I said, no more sweets. He said, well, you're not getting it. I said, please, just if I don't get the carrot cake, I can bargain for a coconut one. It's on you, all right? I go visit my friend, man, get me some coconut cake. But when he gave me that bag, I'm like, why you do this, boy? Don't try, my brother. Okay, don't do that. The first thing I said, you know you're going to eat that. I said, no, I am. always bring me nice candy. I was eating some of those. They had those little Snicker bars about like that. About big as, they were about big as my thumb. I didn't eat nothing like that. I don't know the last time I ate a Snicker bar, but that, I got me 5 different, a little small Milky Way. It was about that big. Ain't nothing to it, just a bite. But I ate me 5 of them. I made mention to him, I said, I always, Mr. Kritika, I bought me other day, I went out last week, I believe. I bought a bag of those Peppery Farm Coke chocolate oatmeal cookies. You don't get but 10. That's all you get. You see, I can tell you what I do. I don't. 10 of them. I ate 5 one time. And I said to him, and he looks at me all, keeps me, man, look at this brother. Last week, and I ate the other 5. How about that? You take them. There were 10 of them in there. I won't buy no more. I'm serious. I'm all right. I fall to a little bit of that sweet thing. I want some. I don't need no more. So she has a crown. She has a crown that represents the strength of her husband, man. YisraYah'ale. There's nothing. Exodus quickly. Exodus 29:6. That's why you daughters, you women, don't allow men to abuse you. Don't allow them to tell you, they tell you that you can't even come get your baby. You don't even take care of those children. You don't even take care of the children at all. You put babies in her and you haven't been back to even to do nothing. You buy Pampers every now and then. And these are the cats on the corner, call themselves Hebrew Israelites, and they belittle them to the smallest of degree. They break them down to them. He did not make a woman less than the man. The only thing he says to a man, that you have to love them because you know they're the weaker vessel, and they are weaker.
Yes.
And it's your loving that makes them strong. You got to know how to love them. It's the kind, it doesn't mean you give them $1 and all that. That's not love. That's though they're giving their children everything. That doesn't mean they love them. They medicate them. Cars and all of that. And they're crazy. That's not what I'm saying. That's not love. You got to know and care. And that's a fact, nation. It's just a fact. It's nothing like that. So the men have not learned how to love. So, my friends, if your husband doesn't understand the expression of love, just honor him. And if you don't understand the expression of honoring her, man, just love her. And tell her when she's wrong, and show her what it takes to be humble and to be meek, and not to be resentful of everything, and the world is against you. That's crazy. Yes. Well, that's not against you. You're against the world and you against yourself. Nobody against you. I don't care if you are. Nobody is against you. You against yourself. And it is one that says, I don't care if it's a monkey can talk and say something wise to you. Just hear it. I listen to people all the time. I learn everything by listening. I was telling his son, I say, son, you think I knew how to do this when I came here? No. But I knew how to listen. I wasn't arrogant. I didn't have no pride. You think I knew how to do this? No. But I could read. I could read now. But I could. I didn't know how to do this. You think I know how to build this? Tell them what we're going to do and how we're going to build it? How long? You think I knew that? I didn't know it. I didn't know it. I did not. But I sat up at those nights and read and look at things. And the internet wasn't like it is now. Look and see what I could find. That's how I learned. Learn to hear and listen. That's it. That's how you do 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 it. You got to learn how to hear. And then when you're wrong about a matter, you're wrong. So what? And when you're wrong, just make it right. Don't ever think that you'll be beyond any kind of correction. That's why most women today, and I hate to use that kind of expression, a lot of women, they don't want to listen to their husbands. And they talk and say things that to debilitate them. I tell all of you, I'm not going to let her do that to me. I'm not going to let her do that. And I say this and I don't say that, but even at my age, if I want to be a wife, another wife, I do one. Yeah, I could. What do you mean? She doesn't have to be old as me. I get one in the 40-ish. I don't want another wife. And when she's wrong, I will let her know. But I'm not going to abuse her. Because I'm wrong all the time. So you. There's nothing right about what you do. Nothing. And there are men that utilize that to beat a woman down to the grave of hell. They take all of their beauty, they take all of their care, they beat them down. I'm the man. I'd like one there. For being a boy. She always said, I'm the weaker vessel, okay? So, I know you're using me now, girl. Don't do me like that. He tells us to deal with them according to knowledge. You understand they have emotions. They can get fruity as a fruit fly. Yes, you can, daughters. You can get fruity. You're more of an emotional expression. You express more emotions of no substance. You flout the wall about nothing. There's nothing to flout about. You get crazy. You want everyone to believe what you say. Stop it. You just sit back and ponder the thing for a moment and say, that could be. Have you ever done that? I do it all the time. I'm not going to handle that differently. But you can't have pride. No, pride won't let you do that, all right? It's making sense, all right? I got you. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. This is what she represents. Let me show you this in Shemot 29:6. It talks about the cleansing and the consecration of the Kohen, what he must do. It says this in Exodus 29:6. And you shall put the mitre upon the Kohan's head, his head. And you shall put the Kodesh Netzah of the crown. What is the Netzah? It is a consecration, a separation. It makes him different than everyone else. And that's what the crown of a man's wife, she is his crown of strength. She separates him from all other men. She doesn't have to talk about him. Everybody will see him. They will know it. That's a fact. You put the mitre on, then you put the crown upon the mitre. You know that's your head, woman. For the man is the head of the woman. And then you put the crown of your beauty on him and the strength that Yah made that nobody can do it but you. I know his money can't put a crown on him. Only you can. Only you can put a crown. The strength of my head. Only you can. His smartness cannot put a crown. But you can. You walk in so that people with PhDs, masters, 3 or 4. You don't know they got a PhD. But a man that has a virtuous wife, you will know that there's a beauty about him and a strength like no other man. You must understand that, daughters, wives, young daughters, you bring about a strength and a beauty to a man that down his hair cannot do it. When the black hairs around his beard can't do it. They can't even do it. None of that. Money cannot do it. It's a beauty when you learn, daughter, listen. You will see the results of your great nature. Of a beautiful, virtuous daughter, you will be very humble. You don't just engage this just to prove you. You will suffer all things. I don't care who you are. Everybody do the same thing. Every wife. Those that are motherhood, you identify that and understand. That's what you do. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. That's important. I don't have to pretend I love my wife or care for her. It's her beauty that speaks of that because she is the essence of my strength. And she doesn't have no more money than you have, and that's a fact. That's a fact. And what she do have after she spends it on everybody, especially the children. Did you say something, daughter? No, it's the truth. You don't do that, so how are you going to tell me that I know what she does.
Yeah.
I give her $50 and what is that? I got this and this and that. For who? That doesn't make her right because she did that. She's the beauty of my strength. Because I would do it. I'm no different than that. That's a fact. No different. Period. Period. No different. She exemplifies my strength. And she makes me known because of her beauty and her strength. Not because she got earrings popped down the ear. Not because she got nose. You don't get that mess out of your noses and your ears. Not because she got that. She got on something so tight you can see her titty and you can see her nipples. That's not a daughter. That's someone that is sick, in need of attention. That's a sick thing. You're in need of attention. So daughters, well, you know, you sound like a misogynist. No, you know I don't sound like a misogynist. I got a wife and I love her. And so 50 years ago, as a young boy, I was going to marry her. Nobody else. Nobody. That's fact. Know her. So you learn from the mothers, those that can be wise. And mothers, don't be silly and folly and plan, taking sides. You tell truth. I don't care what situation comes before us. I really don't want to hear. Really, I don't want to hear that because I've heard every story over. I've heard it. It's the same story. I will give counsel to the fact that's what you need to do. Period. That's the only way I've done it. I've never let people take me through this long drug out thing. Everybody got to tell this. For what? Both of your sides are wrong. Because if you understood who's wrong, you look at you and then you say, okay, stop that. Acting silly. Grow up and give me a hug. That's what the old folks do. Baby, give me a hug. I know you're silly and you're immature. That's how you do it. You're a silly little girl. You're moody, you're sometimes. That's what broke the shackles on me. He said, you're a little silly boy. You did that in front of my wife, man. Living in my house. Dropping cake crumbs everywhere. Over my living room floor and everything. And wife baking you this and you gonna tell me I'm a little boy? Well, I was. This man dropping cake crumbs everywhere. Haagen-Dazs ice cream. £1 cake, that kind of cake. And he would eat it all day long. You gonna tell me, look at this silly little boy. You doing that? You doing that in front of my wife? I'm glad he did it. He taught me. And then when I seen his actions in front of his wife, I would never, even if I was a silly boy, I would have never talked to my wife like that. Period. Hallelujah. So that's what she represents. She represents that beauty of that crown of your excellent man. You put the crown upon the mitre. You have been raised unto that Kohan of your house, and you must carry the law here. And her strength, because she obeys that, it exudes you to a level that everyone will know that there's a strength in your head and upon you. That's what you do, wife. That's what you are for. You're not just some kind of a piece of nothing. Yeah. Much more full of wealth than that. Your wealth is greater than that. Yeah. When you follow the orders according to Yah, you will be blessed and richly in your mind. And the things that you want to do or trying to get done, you can get them done. But you have to. Yeah. You have to. And that's the fact. Mothers, you all teach them. You're wrong to be wrong. Just stop it. Stop it. You do that with everyone else. On a job, you couldn't get by with that. They're fine. You get out of here. Get out of here, Ruffin. Get out of here. That's what they do. I used to do people like that. I don't want you to work here. Go on to your house. And after about 2 or 3 days, I've had 2 or 3 days, you start begging me, can I? Online now. True. I want to work. Yeah, I'll do right. But right now, I don't want you to work around here. I want you to go there and pray and get your heart right. They didn't get their heart right. They just got bored. That's all it was. That's all it was. Hallelujah. Let me go to the Father. All right. Hallelujah. This is what Yaakov says. Yaakov, James 1. And this is important. We must understand that everything, when a man finds a wife, he finds an excellent thing. And he has the berakah, he's been blessed of Almighty Yah. So he just doesn't give a wife to any man. Daughters, you that are listening, you that may hear this, and you're in that thrall of great agony and pain. You've been marginalized, you've been abused, your body has been raped in the sense that it's been a door for every man that you thought that will love you, and none of them loved you. They don't know how to love. And I can apologize for them because they don't know. They're ignorant. And you're a weak man that when you ridicule and reduce the daughters or the women down to nothing but a pile of trash, you're a weak little boy. You have no sense of strength or maturity. You're not even a man, and you're still taking advantage of one. And the same when you call that dog of a female, you're living with one that you represent or identify as that. You're living in their house, eating off their table, and you play video games and doing nothing all day. That's evil. That's evil. It's not of Yah, it's wrong. There's nothing more beautiful that he took from man to make and is a helpmeet. One that will help him in the battles, walk with him, travel with him, traverse, go through the great extremes. There's nothing more powerful than that. And he took that out of man to make her. She was not an entity of her own. He took her out of man. He took her out of man. Hallelujah. Let me go here to Yaakov. You got a cold or something, Mama? You coming out with something? All right then. Okay. Hallelujah. Look what it says in Yaakov 1:12. It says, blessed is the man that endures temptation or pitrasmos, agonies and pain. For when he is tried, the sarah, the trying, or that affliction when he is tried, he shall receive a crown. That is what a virtuous wife represents. She brings life. She infuses life into a man. She makes him strong. She infuses that life, that will not to give up. He's going to press on beyond the battles. He's going to stay in the battles despite. That's what she does. She's a crown of his strength. And that's when a man endure all the trials and the battles of even your words and even your insults, daughter. Yet he pressed on. He endures them. And he doesn't seek for some of the spoil or anything like that. Yes. He endures all of that because he knows the crown of his strength. And he knows the crown of his honor. Yes. He understands that. And so it is a blessing that is reciprocal, that he reciprocates, and so as you as well. Yeah. And when you do that, his love is developed even more greater for you. So the men today, they don't know what love is. No. Never see the man really love a wife. They've been home with a husband and wife, but the difference between love and husband and wife. There are people that coexist and they stay together. That doesn't mean that he loves her. I've seen that. I've seen two brothers married. They didn't love the wives. They just stayed with them. You got married 1 weekend, 2 weeks later, they were doing their own thing. Out running the gun. And doing their own thing. That's crazy. And I say this to you all, I remember I got married. I'll tell you this story. I'm not going to lie. In about 3 weeks after the marriage, Malcolm, he lived upstairs from us. We grew up together. And he said, come on, man, let's go down to the club. I really wasn't even dressed to do nothing like that. There was a club called the Fountain Blue. And I'll never forget who was there that night. I didn't even go in the club. He was an old timer, some of y'all, his name was David Ruffin. He was there. And I remember standing outside at the door, and David Ruffin was on the stage. After about 3 minutes there, I said, I didn't even know y'all. But I said, this God, I will never again do this. I was a woman. I said, never again. From that moment, I never again. I told my friend, look, I'm going home, man. You going? Yeah. I never did that again. Never again. Never happened again. Never. I'm telling you the truth. Never. I just knew that that was evil. It was wrong. And nothing that would have benefited me. Nothing at all. And that was the last time. One Friday evening. I forgot. No, I haven't. That's fact. Hallelujah. So none of us are as perceived as we want to think I is. I was an evil man. Corrupt. But I knew that this would not add a dimension to my home. Not at all. We're going to wear the crown of life, and that is what a virtuous woman, she represents that crown. She brings life from the ish. She caused life to flourish within his loins. And that's what you want to train yourself to do, young ones. You want life to be in your loins as you bring life to your husband. You don't want to bring shame to him. You don't want to do that. You bring life to the man. And he may not understand how and the depths of love, but your honor will cause him to love you. That's a fact. I didn't know how to love, but I knew I loved. I didn't know what love was, but I knew it was something stronger than an emotion and a feeling. I knew that, and that was a fact. Married and you broke as they come. Didn't even have money paid for it. Yeah, we went to the justice of peace. Didn't even have money to pay for it. No, I owe Emerson nothing. I fed her the truth. Her mother sent me $35. And I know she didn't want me to marry her, but she did. She didn't know what and who I was. She didn't see the pains of my heart and the tears. I didn't want my wife to be like my mother. And I saw me that song. Though husband babies. Now, I would have been a daddy to my young. And I'm not talking about buying them video games and all that for. I wanted to. I know I've said this often, I'll say it again. I wanted me about 8 girls. I would have taken 4 or 5 boys would have been the granddaddy. And it would have. And I would have taught them every kind of form of defensive bonds. That's what I said, my boys, they're going to be bad. They're going to look after their sister. And nobody's going to even touch them. They're going to be bad. We have us a ring out there in the yard box. Yeah, we had. I had them bad as they come. I want my daughters to be dainty and pretty, like their mama. My boys to be like me, at least look like me. Girls will look like you. Yes, I would have. That would have been nothing else in life for me to be involved with him. And I had them all tough with great love for each other. No, I was going to be no drill sergeant. But I would have taught them all, starting at his age like that, how to throw it down. And they would have too. Am I going to touch their sisters? Nobody! That's a fact. They've been tough like the daddy. That's what I would have done. But no 12, but I got sons.
Yeah.
I can love them just like they're mine.
Yeah.
I got grandbabies and I do love them too.
Yeah.
Just like they're mine. That's how I do it. Just like they're mine. You understand?
Yeah.
I can do that. I'm going to finish in a moment. Let's go to Hebrews quickly. And we may understand the purpose of man and the greatness of a virtuous wife. Listen, my friends, young men, he did not mean for you to be alone. He meant for no man to be alone. He meant for men to marry, to have wives. When he looked upon that home and saw what his condition, how lonely he was, I look at what you say. Then he put him to sleep, and he took from his rib, he made him a wife.
Yes.
That she would be a part of him. And that's what a wife is. She's you may come from different spheres, but once the constitution of that is established, you all become equals. You become one. And nobody comes before her. Let's come before him. Hold up, there's a caveat to that. But you treat everyone with the same kind of love, you will love her. And you treat everyone with the same kind of love, you will love me.
Yes.
That's how that works.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how that works. You disrespect your man, you disrespect anyone.
Yes.
If your man can't tell you what is wrong, nobody's going to tell you what's wrong. And anyone trying to tell you what's wrong, you're going to raise hell. And that's a fact. Though with the quality spirit, they'll just listen and see the caveats in that, whether they're right or wrong.
Yeah.
That's what they do. So if your husband can't tell you nothing, nobody's going to tell you anything. And that's a fact.
Yeah.
That's just a fact. I don't care what you all think, how you feel toward me. Everybody's wrong because he's wrong. You're not going to tell me that. She's not going to tell me that. I'm wrong. Wrong because I said that? No. You're wrong. It's settled. It's sin. Thank you, my friend. That's how I go. That's the end of the conversation. Nothing else needs to be said. Well, you... No. You're my beauty, my strength. I'm like no other man. There's no other man like me. No other man like me is going to love you like me. Oh, yeah, I know that's right. Yeah, you're not going to stop me from doing this like I do. Because I want them to see and understand. I want them to see. You're not going to stop me. You're different if I was up there phony and fake, saying things that I know I'm a liar. And she like this dirty devil treats me like a dog. Oh, she would see that if I did that. You trying to pretend a liar? Nothing but a dirty liar. No. I don't do it wrong. Ain't nothing. We have done it all these years that I want to knock her down. It'll be easy to do. Ain't about to do that. So if she is the type, or you, I can talk to someone any kind of ways because she talks to me that way. If you're a liar and someone say you lied, you're just a flat out liar. You're not forgiving the crime.
And believe me, you that think you know the one that she's talking to. Now, a minute before you became an adult or married, all right? Okay. That's a fact. Now, what are their lives like now? You look at them. It's just the truth. I don't rejoice in that. I don't. I hate it. It hurts my heart. I'm not going to allow it to subdue me. But it does. I loved all of them. All of them. And they know that. And even the devils that have fought against me. He don't like me. But they will say she was always kind to us. They go, you're looking like a dog. Is that so? That's a fact. I said, who? TJ did this for us. She said, no. TJ didn't do that. It was Kathy and Angie. I wanted to do that, not in here, but some rocks. They did a nice job too. They had a nice spat in there. Oh, and I've seen her rebuke them more because they were hard-headed, they were lazy, they dropped it. She would tell them. It's one thing about my evil affair, you can't say she's lazy. That can't nobody say. That she ain't not ever been. She ain't lazy. You're not gonna work as hard as she works. That's why I'm that way. You're gonna work harder than me. You're not gonna work as hard as them. I'm with it, all right? Because there's nothing you would do I want to do, all right? She has always been a faithful woman. She has not. Tell me one of your who she tried to hide. I'm not trying to see, but we need daughters like that. What has she tried to hide? Skip out on one. She got back in town on Thursday. We went shopping early in the morning. We do class, didn't she? There's some of you that will even hide just simply because you. That's evil. I want to close with this from Hebrews chapter 2 and verse 6. It talks about what is man, what is the purpose of man, but there's a crown for man. YHWH, the crown of this assembly. But yet there is only one thing in Torah that represents that crowning, or we've been crowned, and that's a virtuous woman. Her value is greater than what these devils are making her out to be and reducing her to. I'm not talking about a woman, I'm talking about a virtuous woman now. I'm talking about a virtuous woman, a kind woman that's virtuous. Hallelujah.
Yeah.
You come to your sons and daughters, you never have to spank them. I know you have. Oh, okay. Your mama never spanked you. Talking to you, no, you're in the black. You don't wear that on the black two-piece suit. Huh? She get that hair. What? She get them hippies, huh? All right. She doesn't love you, though. Folks, I can hear you, man.
Of course she loves you.
Now you want to stand me down. Of course she loves me. You hear that? Of course she loves me. Well, a woman a daughter that blister your heart like that, bust your, come on, your chops, and you gonna tell me, of course she. I'll buy that from you. I'll owe you that one. I like that. Because someone straightened you out and correct you. Well, I'm not a child. We're all children.
Yeah.
That's what y'all calls you, a child. We're just like little children. Have you gone astray?
Yes.
You're a child, all right.
Hallelujah.
All right. It says in Hebrews chapter 2, verse 6, but in a certain place testifies saying, this is what Torah says, what is man? What is a man? You're talking about a man now. That you, Almighty Yah, you are memnechos, you are mindful, you remember him. He's on your mind. You think, what is man? He has to be something that he would raise up virtuous daughters for man, that she will show the beauty of his strength. That's what she shows. She shows the beauty of Yah's crowning, because only he can give a woman or a man a virtuous wife.
Only Yahweh. That's it. What is man that you are mindful of him? Or the Son of Man that you visit him? Why you visit Yahshua? Greater is he that is in us. So if we visit him, he's visiting us. Or that you visit him. He said you made him just a small touch, a little lower than the Melachim. And then he talks about this crown. You crowned. You Stephanao. You crown. You put a crown of beauty. You put the mark of royalty upon him. You crowned him. You exalted him. You made him your prize. And every wife, every beautiful daughter of Zion, your husband should be your prize. There's so many that don't have husbands.
Yes.
That's a fact. There are those that would say, I wish I had a husband like him. And that's a fact. That's a fact. There are more women saying, I wish I had a husband like him, than men saying that I wish I had a wife like him. Because women today, daughters, don't sell yourself short. They'll nickel for 6 dozen. And that's just a fact. Once they go beyond that age of puberty, once they reach 16, 17 years old, and their boys out here they have no respect for them. None whatsoever, that's a fact. But Yah preserves the virtuous one. He keeps her.
Hallelujah.
I would be a fool to try to think that I'm better or I have had a better life than anyone, knowing the trash I have lived and done. You are a flat out fool to think. The things that you've done, don't tell nobody. I don't want to know, because I won't tell you what I've done, all right? How about that? And I know how nasty I was. You just nasty, all right? It's amazing how people want to put on this front as though that they were really perceived. You weren't that way. Not a one of you, not a one of you. Not one of you. You're just as dirty as anyone else, okay? Let's get real. So Yah is mindful. Why does he visit us? He made us a little lower than the Melachim, and then he crowned us with an exalted place, an excellent. He crowned us with what? Splendor. That's what a wife represents, the splendor of a man's strength and his beauty. That's why you love her, husband, man. And that's why, daughter, you exude all the personality and all the essence of being virtuous. Learn how the quietness of your, even of your verbiage, how it will merit you great things. I'm telling you, he'll do things he doesn't have the power, the money, or anything to do it. He'll do it. And that's a fact. It is the frostiness of your tongue that turns him away. That's what it is. Ain't nothing like a wife or worse or a husband. Nothing like that. It turns him off. It turns him off. I'm telling you. Nothing like that. There's not a gem like a quiet wife with the right kind of ruach in her. Nothing like that. It is the one that is bodacious in her mouth. So daughters, you that are married, you that desire Yah, give you the husband. Your age, whatever. Just learn the principles of a virtuous woman. And when you begin to travel that road, there'll be those that will recognize you and that will want to live honorable with you and do right by you. You don't have to seek him out. You'll be found. Because of he that finds a wife, he finds a treasure trove. He finds a tough thing. And he found her, and the reason he found her, because he's blessed her. Yeah, not just someone to say I'm married. You don't want that, daughter. And to say you got a husband, you don't want that. You want a man. Yeah. And you want to be a daughter inside, you want to be a wife. You must be a wife. You must be. So there's nothing like a virtuous wife. Her beauty, her strength. Yeah. exudes him, and it takes him beyond his own level, his own height. It does. That's what she does. That's what she does. Hallelujah. He goes on to say that he crowned him with not only just with splendor and honor, and he set him over your hands. That's what he did with Yahshua. He was a man, but he crowned him with the beauty. He crowned man with it. He put him over all of the dimensions of the earth. I don't care how big it is. They're bull elephants that weigh 15 tons, but a man still can take and frighten him. He doesn't need a gun to frighten him. He doesn't need no cannon to frighten him. Just the mere presence of one like a man, he will frighten him. That's a fact. I don't care, a polar bear. I don't care if he's a grizzly, a brown bear. If he's a pack of lions. I don't care what it is. Man has the ability because God made him special. And if he made him special, he had to give him something special too, didn't he? So he gave him something special. He gives a special man a special kind of a wife, all right? That's just the truth. And so all y'all want to be special. All of you all are. And so when you have those fools on the corner that berate you, you're ignorant, you may wear pants, but come out of that. They berate you, call you everything that is, and they do that. You don't have to allow that to trouble you. You know who you are. You're striving for the excellence of Almighty God. That's how you do it. That's how you do it. He never meant for you to be alone, daughter, because he didn't make man to be alone. He did not make man to be alone. So if he made him not to be alone, he needs a wife. He needs a virtuous wife. He did not make man. It didn't intend for him to be alone. That's why he gave him a wife. He sets the pattern of all mankind. He sets the pattern of all men. And those that have chosen to be eunuchs for the sake of Yah, that's fine. But he never intended for man to be alone. Never. He made a gem and a jewel. He made the woman. She was made from the strength of man. And so when his strength began to dissipate, she will bring the resources of that beautiful strength, knowing who he is. He knows what he got, and she will resurrect it. There's nothing more bona fide than a virtuous wife and strength. That's why Boaz, when he saw Ruth, he said, you are known by everyone. So my daughters, you don't become known because you're feisty, you're hard-headed, and you're silly, you think you know everything. It's because of your virtuous nature. And you exude the great virtuousness, not because you're a smart mouth, you can answer people the way you want to. That's childish to me. Children do that. Sure she does. Like I was born yesterday. Old enough to be his daddy's daddy. Sure she does. I like the answer. I like the way he said it. Sure she does, but that's all right. She gonna thump you like that. She thumps you down like that, boy, and you show that love. I like that, boy. I like that. Sure she does. Such certainty. That professor, sure. You can't hardly hear him talk with that. Certainty. She loves him. So when you're corrected, that doesn't mean someone doesn't care for you. Our childish ways will make us think that. Our stupidity will make us think that. That doesn't mean someone doesn't care for you. If they correct you, they should. I'm correcting you all. And all you that think you're wise are wise, and I'm correcting you. And you that think you love your wife more than you love your pinto beans and bacon soup, I'm telling you, the responsibility is equal. And he emboldened the daughters of Zion with the strength and the beauty to carry out that which is sufficient. He did. That's what he has done, all right? Hallelujah. Listen to this. It says in verse 2 and 8, You have put all things in subjection under his feet. For in that you put all in subjection under Hamashiach, he left nothing that is put under him. But now we see, not all yet all things put under him. But we see Yahshua, who was made a little lower than the Melachim, to suffer the death. He suffered the death. And after all of that, he was crowned. As my grandmother would say, crowned death. He was crowned. Look, with the same splendor and the honor that he made, that he by the free Amerda and favor of Yah should taste death for every man. I bless y'all for that. I bless y'all for that. That he was crowned with that. And that's what a virtuous wife represents, the crowning of the strength of her husband and the beauty of him. Wives, you that are married, you that are going through turmoils and troubles in your marriage, just start again. Go back. Examine you thoroughly. I know you can find a downers on him. Same thing, husband. And then you began to walk the right path. Listen to this broadcast. Go online and listen. I recall there was a detective, he came here from Atlanta, his wife and his father, his wife, he was a detective, he was an Atlanta deputy sheriff, he was an Atlanta police officer. And his wife didn't like me, she really didn't like me. It didn't make me any difference. And I remember one day holding a meeting in Atlanta, and he came, he would always come, but she would not come. He brought her here to visit. And she worked for her parents because they had one of those services to take people. He even told me how much she was making then. He told me exactly how much she made a week. And they lived in the suburbs in Atlanta. And he had transitioned from police office, deputy sheriff, to a private detective. And he would do private detective work for people. And I remember he said, "Can I say something to you, Rayad?" We were talking. I said, "Yes." He said, "You know what? I was downstairs one day." These are his words. He said, and I was asleep, and I awakened. And I looked for my wife. I didn't call her name out. He said, in our home we have upstairs and downstairs. I don't want to leave my books. I left them last week. He said we had upstairs and downstairs. He said, so I'm looking for her. He said, as I started walking up the steps, I could hear your voice booming in our house. He says, and I go, she got it on, she didn't want me to hear. And I'm standing behind her. And I'm watching her. And he says, the teaching you were teaching on was about the husband and wife. And this is the thing that blessed me greatly, because he said, I stood there long enough. He says, one thing that teaching was, you were ripping the head of the man off. And you were booming on the wife as well. He said, nobody got away. Nobody at all. He says, and she was almost, she was in a class listening. Because a woman, I mean, you could tell her hair was probably down to her hip. She had long, it was no weave or nothing like that. That woman had some hair on her head. You remember her? She had some hair. And he said she was there brushing her hair, looking in the mirror, just sitting there. And he said the stroke, she was just stroking her hair, and said she was listening. Because I had troubled his wife, and didn't do. He said that she was listening. He said, all I did was just stand there and say, you should have went downstairs and left the woman alone. He said, and all of a sudden, my reflection in the mirror, she saw that, and she looked back, and when she noticed I was looking at her, she turned it off. She didn't want me to know that you were listening. See, if she'd have heard me, just like many of these men today, you see the woman being bombarded, she can be evil and wicked, so can the man.
And the evil and wickedness is the same. It's no different. He can think he's the best husband, but he's not. She can think she's the best wife, but she's not. And that's a fact. I said, man, been the best thing. I said, if you have this left that, you should have went on downstairs and left her alone. If she was doing that in secret, you should let her listen. Who knows? He could have transformed the wife. You know. He said, but you spared no one. I spared no one today. I don't care if it's my wife. I don't care about your wife. In the sense that her emotions and just your wife either. She become in tune and dropped in her emotions, and she think that it's about her. I don't care. I don't like people like that. I like people that are honest because I'm honest. I don't lie to you, daughter. I don't lie to you. I don't hide nothing from you. I don't sneak nothing in the house and hide nothing from you. I didn't even hide them cookies. I don't do that. I didn't hide them. When I went down to the bank on that Monday, Tuesday, your safe went on Monday, and I went on Tuesday. And I went and picked up that whiting fish and things like that. And all of a sudden, that sweet bug hit me. Boom! Out! All I wanted was some of those. I used to in the days they had those cookies and lemons with the little lemon. You only get 5. They about $3 for 5, $4. I don't buy them cookies you get 49 cents a bag. I'm not buying that. I read the ingredients, and I always like the Pepperidge Farm, the chestnut. That's what I was going to get. They didn't have it. So I bought them. I gave the daughters the fish and the food, and I put it all in them on when they couldn't see it. They didn't see it. I hid it. I ate my meal, and I immediately bust open the lemon ones, and I ate some. The only 10, I ate 5 of those, and I ate 5 later on, not eating. That's what I did. But I had to. Now all I want now is a cake. I tend to take one when we went down to the beach. I said, I'm eating the other half by myself. Every night, give me a slice that big. I didn't have my ice cream when I went down, and I didn't have the cake. No, I'm not going to stop, but I'm going to have some Haagen-Dazs, that pineapple. Yeah, so that carrot cake. Who doesn't like carrot cake? You got to be sick if you don't like carrot cake. Bless you all. Bless you all, YisraYah'ale, and wives, pressed to be the beauty that Yah intended you to be, all right? Do what is righteous, man, before YHWH. Hallelujah. We're going to close here. The school, what's called is next Sunday?
Yes.
All right. The school, what is that? The school what? Oh, PTA. I don't know what PTA part. I come for the eating aspect, all right? What's wrong with that? I'll come for that. Encouraged I am. I'm happy. Very happy. I'm broke, but I'm happy. I don't have no money. I mean that. There's nothing I call my own, say that I got some money. I don't have no money for me to put back. The monies that come in, we use it. And I say, so something happens to me, you don't have some money to keep going on. That's what I do. I said to my insurance, God bless me to know how to use money. I can use money. I know how to use money. God, money doesn't use me. It doesn't. I don't get lusted for things. You buy things. Well, I said to my English this morning before we dismissed, I said, I like these shoes, but they're tight. I haven't worn them in probably 2 years. I tell you when I bought these shoes, I remember now. I didn't have some black shoes when I went up to debate Dow. How long ago that's been? 3, 4 years? Huh? How long ago?
2, 3 years.
No, it's been long 2 years for sure. 3. Yeah, it's been at least 3 years. Dawid's been dead. He's been dead for 2 years.
And they tied on my feet now because I'm worn it so long. I didn't wear when I went up there. As I bought them because they were on the cheap. So I don't just spend money. I don't. I really don't. I spend it for us. A friend came in last night and said, look what all I got in this cart right now. I got playground stuff. And when she comes, all she wants to do is look in. No, where is she? The other one. All she wants to do is look in the cart. Open up the cart. And when he came in last night, he saw it. I said, we go get all that. Don't worry. He said, oh, that's nice. I said, no, you get it. Oh man, that's nice. Playground swings and all that. We get one of these at a time. We get it. For them. We gotta get that big rock from up there too. That big old, we'll bring that down, put it in the center of one of these sand mountains. So you can climb up on that thing. And they can have water in the winter. Water in the winter. Get wet, whatever they want. Wash them up. Make cookies and cakes. It'd be nice if we were satisfied with the simplicity of things. Wouldn't it be that way? Let's show, be encouraged. Let us stand on feet. Let's show, do send an offering, a gift to help. Even Teshua, Yahweh's sword, the works of the ministry. Let us turn toward YHWH. In all things we do are above the greatness. Your abundance this day for life, health and strength, and keep us all, I pray. Heal YisraYah'ale, all of us who need healing. Those that are wrestling with the pains and the need of your healing, I pray for them in Yeshua's name. Touch your nation scattered abroad and bless the daughters of Zion throughout the nation and those that love you, Yah. The sons of YisraYah'ale, bestow your great kindness upon all of us. This is our prayer we ask in Yeshua's name. Hallelujah. 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 Yes.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Chafra. Hallelujah. 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 Hallelujah.
Come on, lift your voice and say, Yahweh, you are my Abba. Come on, say it one more time. Say, Yahweh, you are my Abba. And I will exalt you. Come on, let's give Yahweh a hand clap of praise. Come on, Yahweh. Hallelujah. Come on, let's rejoice in the salvation that Yah has provided for us through Yahshua HaMashiach. Hallelujah.